Uh, I didn't know all these quotes before I started seeing Jesus Christ's face everywhere, but I really wanted an explanation for it, so I found a whole bunch of them, and, well, I knew what Jesus wanted because I read the Bible before, and I could understand what he wanted uh, from the Sermon on the Mount, Matthew chapter 5, 6, and 7. And I did that, and I'm positive because I did that, now I can see God's face everywhere. And I'm not American, I'm Canadian. Just so I might get some respect out of people. Okay. Jesus Christ promises the Holy Spirit. This is from John chapter 14. Starts here, verse 15. If you love me, keep my commands, and I will ask the Father, and he will give you another advocate to help you and be with you forever. The Spirit of truth. The world cannot accept him because it neither sees him nor knows him, but you know him, for he lives with you and will be in you. I will not leave you as orphans, I will come to you. Before long, the world will not see me anymore, but you will see me. Because I live, you also will live. On that day, you will realize that I am in my Father, and you are in me, and I am in you. Whoever has my commands and keeps them is the one who loves me. The one who loves me will be loved by my Father, and I too will love them and show myself to them. Then Judas, not Judas Iscariot, said, But Lord, why do you intend to show yourself to us and not to the world? Jesus replied, Anyone who loves me will obey my teaching. My Father will love them, and we will come to them and make our home with them. Anyone who does not love me will not obey my teaching. These words you hear are not my own, they belong to the Father who sent me. All this I have spoken while still with you, but the Advocate, the Holy Spirit, whom the Father will send in my name, will teach you all things, and will remind you of everything I have said to you. Peace I leave with you, my peace I give you. I do not give to you as the world gives. Do not let your hearts be troubled, and do not be afraid. You heard me say, I am going away, and I am coming back to you. If you loved me, you would be glad that I am going to the Father, for the Father is greater than I. I have told you now before it happens, so that when it does happen, you will believe. I will not say much more to you, for the prince of this world is coming. He has no hold over me, but he comes so that the world may learn that I love the Father, and I do exactly what my Father has commanded me. That was from John chapter 14. Oh yeah, and then he says, Come now, let us leave. That was from John chapter 14. It's Jesus Christ's promise of the Holy Spirit to those who obey him. And I didn't see God's face anywhere before I started obeying him. So logic tells me that because I obeyed him, he showed himself to me. And he'll show himself to you too when you fully obey him. So I highly recommend that you read Matthew chapter 5, 6, and 7 and do every single thing that he says. I did not have any money or anything by the time I was done obeying what Jesus Christ said and commands. I was dirt poor. I didn't have a thing because, the stuff that he commands. But I now see God's face in every single thing, and there's nothing better than that. So I'm going to continue here. It's not just me, by the way, that confirms that we see God when we obey Jesus Christ. Actually, David prophesied it. You can check out Acts 2:25. David said about him, I saw the Lord always before me. Because he is at my right hand, I will not be shaken. Now, if that's not what I'm experiencing, I don't know what is. I see God's face in literally everything. These pictures that you see, I'll show you one example, but in each and every picture, I can see it. Like, if I start counting, 1, 2, 3, oh, we're back to the next one. 4, 5, 6. I'm just showing you little tiny pieces of my daily life here. which is guaranteed to you by Jesus Christ upon obedience to him. That's all I'm doing. No more, no less. Just telling you what happens when you obey Jesus Christ. Doing my best to motivate you to obey him, because it is unlike anything else you'll ever do. It is awesome. Let's continue on. More quotes. Like I said, I'm not the only one. Also the apostles. The apostles quite a bit mention the face of Jesus Christ. Let's take 2 Corinthians 4:6 for example. For God, who commanded the light to shine out of darkness, hath shined in our hearts to give the light of the knowledge of the glory of God in the face of Jesus Christ. Couldn't be more obvious. Let's look at Revelations 22:4. This is from the book of Revelations. And they shall see his face, and his name shall be in their foreheads. For sure. I've seen God's face, I estimate at least 1,000,000 times. It's been 9 years now, and I can see it like 30 times in a minute if I'm moving, or if I'm just looking around like there's one, there's one, there's one, there's one, there's one. So I'm estimating maybe 1,000 times a day. It's probably a lot more than that. And I spend a great deal of time just looking at one example of it too. I'm not just trying to count, see how many I can see, because I want to know God and I want to understand him. So I look at him and he fills me with that knowledge. And knowing God is loving him, trust me, because he is very good and very merciful. Matthew chapter 5 verse 8. This is Jesus Christ speaking here. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they will see God. Now, you're going to say, oh, you can't be pure in heart maybe. But let me tell you, you can. And let me tell you how exactly. Peter, 1 Peter chapter 1:22. Since you have purified yourselves by obedience to the truth, for sincere mutual love, love one another intensely from a pure heart. It's very good, isn't it?